Let's talk again about the questions I get all the time about how to speak to sellers. It's really cool because I have a group of about 12 people. Now, we coach a lot of associates around the country, around North America, but I have 12 personally. A sort of a higher level commitment and higher serious commitment that every single night send me a voice text. And every single morning, I could be on the bike, I could be on the way to the office, I will answer them. And most of the time, it's their metrics, always actually, but most of the time they'll ask me a question. Now think of this. In addition to their group calls, in addition to the mastermind calls, in addition to the weekly sit-downs, all the stuff we do for them, these 12 have said, I'm in. I want to commit every night to telling you how my day went, and I want it verbally, it's not a text. I want to hear what's going on because I can hear their state. Well, every night when I get questions, a lot of them are around scripts, so I want to just share 3 of them with you guys, because this is how you speak to sellers. It's so, so important. One, my first one I wrote down is really a reminder that if I just gave you this nugget and you picked up the phone today and you focused on these things, you'd have a successful conversation. It revolves around when you're speaking to, I don't care, expired, FSBO, for rent by owner, free and clear owner, doesn't matter. You want to know where they're going, if the home had sold or if it sells, where are you going? It's a conversation you'd have outside with your neighbor. Hey, where are you going if it sells? Or if it didn't sell, where were you going? Where did you want to go? You find out their motivation really fast. By when did you want to be there? That's too bad. So it didn't sell. So when did you want to be there? And then, what if it doesn't sell? That's key. The first and the third tell you why they're selling and what if and what the course of action would be. So where were you going if it had sold? Interesting. So by when did you want to be there? Well, I was supposed to be there last month, or I have a job reload. Oh, man. So what if it doesn't sell? What's sort of your backup? Well, that's going to tell you if they're screwed or if they say, I don't care, I'll just stay. Okay, no motivation. See? That tells you exactly what you're going to do with that person next. Okay, so that's key. Now let's hone into a little bit more niche kind of questions I got. A couple times this past week, these are current questions. I was critiquing calls. It's something we do for associates, by the way. You want to fast forward your learning curve? Send us calls if you're an associate to critique. And if you're not an associate, probably something you should look into. Just go to smartrealestatecoach.com and take a peek. But I was listening to some critiques, and all in one week, I heard sellers say inquisitively to our associates, well, how do you make money then? See, what causes that question is not any negativity. What causes that question is they're used to getting lowballed by investors, by wholesalers, by flippers. That's not us. So when they hear that we pay market value or maybe even a premium, which I'll address in a different video, they go, it sounds too good to be true. How do you get paid? Here's the answer. If you're in the creative financing niche with us, the term's niche, then you want to be very clear in the 3 payday system. You want to be very clear on how you answer this. It's simple. You don't want to complicate it. It's, good question, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. We make a little bit of money each month as we're going to be charging our buyer in our home a little bit more than we're paying you or your bank. We're going to make money on the markup of the property, which they expect, and we're going to make money on the principal pay down every single month throughout the term of the property. Now, when I say that to a seller, when I get asked, I just say that, and then I go on and ask a question right away. Because what I don't want you to do when you're answering any question from a seller is answer it, and then you feel like you got to fill gaps and talk or give a seminar and keep going. No, just answer the damn question that they asked you and move on. And if you can't move on conveniently, ask them a question. So I answered all that with how I made money, and then I might go back to, so let's get back to where you're moving for your job reload or whatever. You go back to a question for them, okay? Because this is not about you saying some tricky answer or some well thought out answer. I'm just giving you what we get asked a lot. This is more about your confidence and your clarity with how you answer it versus what you're saying for detail, okay? The next one I got, and we'll wrap up with this one, is that if the home is listed. Now, this is happening a lot because people have pie-in-the-sky numbers. Now, we're coming off of that, and the market's changing rapidly, and it couldn't be a better time for you to be doing terms. But we are still hitting a lot of properties where they go, yeah, I just listed with a realtor, or it's still listed with a realtor. The script I'm about to give you, when you talk to a seller for this, that deal's not over. Okay, I don't care if they're listed with a realtor. Because a lot of realtors are too high right now to get the listing. We used to call that buying listings. They're giving the sellers the numbers that they want to hear while the market's sliding or stabilizing in most markets. So it's gonna come expired, a lot of them. So here's your script for the seller. They go, I'm listed. Oh, interesting. How long are you tied up for? I didn't say how long is your contract for. I specifically used the word tied up because there's a negative connotation, right, for them. Oh, interesting. So how long are you tied up for with that realtor? After you get the answer, you say, okay, so if you don't get full price, keyword, in the time you want, keyword, or if you cancel sooner, keyword, give me a call. So let's do the three things again because they're all just very carefully seated in the script, okay? Oh, so you listed with a realtor. All right, how long are you tied up for? How much longer are you tied up for? Okay, no problem. Listen, I don't want to step on realtor toes at all. If you don't get your full price in the time you want, or you end up canceling sooner, give us a call. And then you know what you do? Almost every call, I'm going to give you this one, but this is a perfect one to do it on. We have a set of 12 form letters that live in the QLS, the Quantum Leap System Home Study course. I'll give you a link for that in a second, for those of you that are interested. We have 12 letters in there. I wrote them years ago. They're meant to follow up with any one of my follow-up emails or calls that I just had with a prospect. Yes, it's snail mail. I don't want you emailing it. Very purposefully doing it in the mail. So I'm going to have that conversation with that person about the realtor, and then they're going to get a form letter that's called, guess what? Listed with a realtor. I'm not a realtor. I can send them a letter. I can say anything I want to them. I'm not stepping on toes. I was just trying to be polite when I say we don't step on toes. I can send a letter to them. So therein lies some cool scripts for 3 different scenarios. There's probably 20 or 25 you want to get really good at. Those are all in our course as well. Just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/QLS. And if you're someone that goes, well, I don't know, even after looking at that page and the videos and all the associates all over North America that have had success, if you're still not sure, no problem. I have 2 suggestions for you. 1, come hang out with us every week on what we call the Wicked Smart Sit Down. It's free. It's on Thursdays at 4 o'clock for 50 minutes, and you can come every single week if you want. You're going to hear scripts, you're going to hear challenges, you're going to see live deals, you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff. Really cool. If you're curious about those or you don't want to jot this down or wherever you're listening to it, just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/events. Okay? That will give you a schedule. Last but not least, if you want to talk with one of us and sort of share candidly, privately your situation and have us help you understand, given where you are and where you want to go, how we can kind of bridge the gap, you can schedule a free call. smartrealestatecoach.com/action.